275, 276. Minnesota and Chicago. Opens up at 2.5, Kyle. We sit at 2.5 all the way across the board. Opened up at 44.5 as a total. Sits at 43.5. If we take a look at some weather conditions here on Monday Night Football, around 40 degrees, 12 miles an hour. That's basically perfect weather for mid-November in Chicago. I went back and watched the offensive performance from the Chicago Bears, which was ludicrously bad. The route combinations were disgusting. Nick Foles was under siege the entire game. I don't know what Matt Nagy was calling on 3rd and 1 and 4th down plays. It was overall embarrassing. And then you look at the end of the game like, hey, they threw for over 300 yards. They scored 17 points and were in the game against Tennessee. That really wasn't the case. Their defense played so well. Their defense deserves so much more than what the Chicago offense is giving them to help out. But then you took a look now. The Minnesota Vikings saying like, hey, if there's a couple games postponed here with COVID coming back, we have a legitimate chance of making the playoffs since they're going to allow damn near every team, it seems like, in the NFL into the playoffs at that point. Dalvin Cook looks like the best player in football. Kirk Cousins is working off of play action. You have 2 decent wide receivers that you can move the football with Minnesota. Their defense stinks, but the Chicago Bears offense stinks even worse. I see that line. I sort of get a chuckle because 6 out of every 10 tickets here coming in on Minnesota, and I agree with it. But they ain't moving that line all that much yet. No. I want to see if the dam breaks and it goes to 3+ in this game because the only way I can look is to Minnesota in this type of game. The only way.
Oh, God, it makes me absolutely sick because I cannot believe that I'm going to tell someone to take Kirk Cousins in primetime. He's so terrible. He's so awful. And listen, I hate Kirk Cousins. He got the Cooler K name, and he's more handsome and, makes slightly a little bit more money, even though SBR is trying to compete there. But, I mean, now Chicago's probably going to be without David Montgomery. Still didn't practice today. I know he's got that extra day. If they're without David Montgomery, are we looking at Ryan Nall and Cordero Patterson are going to be their running backs? Oh, God, this it makes me sick. It's close. I hate Kirk Cousins in primetime. He's Andy Dalton light in primetime. And if you guys remember a few weeks ago, I warned you about Andy Dalton in primetime. Warned everyone all week long. And he got spanked, and he was dreadful because he sucks in primetime. So does Kirk Cousins. However, Nick Foles, awful. No David Montgomery. What the hell do they do? Got to give the slight edge, as sick as it makes me. And again, I'm not going to be betting this at all. I'll be prop betting that Monday night game on our Monday night show. I'll lean the Minnesota Vikings.